the component of arts, this will be our objective. First objective, identify distinct characteristics of arts during different art periods. So pinakita ko last week yung mga different art periods. So ngayon, ang ipapakita ko naman is yung mga characteristic or functions of different arts in the different arts period. Then we have the second one. Oh, wala na pala yung second one. So the prehistoric era. So one characteristic of their artwork, it is extremely primitive. When we are talking about primitive, muna siya kanang sinaunang mga gawa. Wala pa sila free form pag yun. Wala pa sila gi-follow ng mga rules and principles in arts. So in paintings, para sa prehistoric era, their paintings are found inside the cave. So it is believed to be their way of communication. So paintings daw sa una, sa prehistoric era, kanang mga gipang sulat nila sa cave, sa wall sa cave. So that is their painting. So sa ilaha pong sculpture, were believed to be a product of soil erosion. So soil erosion pa daw, so natural product ang ilang sculpture. Kumbaga sa sigig awas sa sapa, naigo tong bato sa sapa, na form siya og isa ka object. So that is a kind of natural product of soil erosion or sculpture. Then to their architecture, they were using a megaliths or big stones. So kung makikita mo itong picture sa una, kanang nana siya karon sa web na picture na katong the megaliths faces, katong dagko kay naong na mga bato that came from the prehistoric era. Katong naong siya na bato na dako na pinataas sa naong. So that is one example of their kanang architecture. Kaya po mga balay nila na murag ipang patong lang ang mga bato-bato. So that is for the example of their architecture. So that is for the prehistoric era. Then let's proceed to the ancient Egypt. So to their paintings were common in tomb, believed to make the deceased life pleasant. So common gyud ginagamit ang ilang mga paintings, gina-paint sa wall sa tomb. Uminrag tomb, mo siyang lubnganan. Unsay purpose nila, unsay function atong sa tomb ginabutang ang ilang painting to make the deceased life pleasant. Kumbaga daw mahimo daw ilang tinuuhan na it will give a pleasant life to the deceased. So mo na ang ilang tinuuhan function sa ilang paintings. So to their sculpture has symbolic elements like form and hieroglyphics and etc. So diri na nagsugod na naanay forms ang ilang sculpture. Kumbaga sila na ang nag-form. Dili na siya naturally formed by the soil erosion or the flood, but i-form na siya sa tao. So nag-start na diri sa ancient Egypt ang ilang sculpture nag-form. Then the third is the architecture. So its characteristics include thick sloping walls with few openings to sustain stability. One of the famous architecture in ancient Egypt is the pyramid. So makita mo na famous mo na nasa YouTube, ilang i-vlog ang pyramid, napun siya sa Google, ma-search niyo about pyramid. That is one of the famous architecture in Egypt. So kung makita po niyo ng pyramid, dako kayo siya na building, pero makita niyo sa iyang opening, gamay kina siya opening. Isa ra po na iyang opening sa by side. So ingana sila because ang purpose nila, it has so a few openings to sustain stability para ligon og stable ang ilahang building. So ingana ang sa ilahang function and characteristic of their artworks. So in the classical Greek, so in the paintings, in this era mostly found on vases, panels, and tomb. So kung sa una, sa ancient Egypt o prehistoric, sa tomb o cave kasagari, karon po ang ilang mga paintings ila pong nabutang sa laing mga medium or media, which is the vases, panels, and nagyapon sila sa tomb. Kung mayuntag ka ng vases, mo na ka ng mga kuan, ng mga kaang, so yung ana, vases, mga flower vases. Kung mayuntag panels, mo na siya ginadrawingan nila na portrait, mga canvas. So that is an example of panel, canvas. Then sa ilang sculpture, sculpture were evolved and shows all points of human anatomy. So diri daw, kung sa prehistoric ang ilang sculpture is naturally formed, nya naanay form ang sa ancient Egypt, diri makita na daw ang tanang point or of human anatomy, kumbaga ang forma sa tao, yung mga muscles, yung face, yung buhok, nakita na daw sa ilang sculpture. So yung ani na siya, naanag siya ka na perfectly or clearly seen ang iyang form. Then sa architecture nila, showed in temples and shrines. So in classical Greek, most functions of their architecture is in their temples and shrines. So proceed to the Roman era. So in their paintings were mostly copied or imitated from Hellenic Greek with fresco technique was used. So kumbaga, sa painting nila, nag-copy lang daw sila sa Greek style. But they use a different technique, which is the fresco technique. Then to their sculpture, it is made of monumental terracotta. So monumental, mo na siyang karang buhat sila og mga monument sa tao, form tao monument yan na. Then in their architectures, it were sturdy stone structures both for use and to perpetuate their glory. So ang ilang architecture, mostly mga bato na ilang gipang kumpul-kumpul na muna nang dito na po nagsugod sa ilaha ang kanang gamito nila ang dayami o lapok para mag-create sila og kanang architecture. Then to the Byzantine period. In their paintings were lively styles. So nanda lively styles na ng painting. Invented in Greek and Rome with a theme of Christian objects. So ang nanay tema ng ilang painting. Ang tema silang painting is all about Christian objects. Muna ang tema na tema, then na po yung lively styles. Muna itong ipakita na ko ito ni Agi, na yung mga, itong The Last Supper, itong mga Christian, kanang mga heavenly objects. So yung ana ang mostly tema nila sa ilahang painting. So to their sculpture, themes were religious. So connected siya ang painting o sculpture. Religious, everyday life scenes, and motifs from nature. So this is their kanang function for their sculpture. Motif is from nature. Then we have the religious and everyday life scenes. Then to their architecture, it had a lot common with the early Christian architecture. So the early Christian architecture is from the classical Greek. So mara siya, common lang daw sila og architecture. So we have the Romanesque era. So paintings have remarkable variety of artistic traditions. So lain-lain dong klase sa tradition ang gigamit nila in their paintings. But largely placed mosaic in the walls. But in their paintings, mostly daw ginadrawing or ginapaint nila sa wall. Place siya sa wall. Then again, tip, there are two types of kanang painting. We have the canvas painting and the mural painting. So kung mingon tag canvas painting, that is the use of a medium or panel, katong gagmay na murag box lang siya. Madala-dala nimo. While the mural painting mo na siya mga painting nagi-paint sa wall, which is dili nimo pwede madala, dili nimo pwede makuha, mabitbit, magunitan lang nimo. So kung makita mo sa school sa una ay sa kuan, kanang dra sa Purok 9 na wall sa una, ilan ang gipangbutangan dag painting. So that is an example of mural painting. Kana pong sa school, ila po itong gipaint, nagpaint po to sila dira, that is an example of mural painting. Dili mo siya madala, makitaan na nimo, magunitan. While the canvas painting, pwede mo naman siya madala-dala. Okay? Gamay man siya ang medium na ilang gamit. So for the Romanesque sculpture, were pieces of reliquaries, altar frontals, crucifixes, and devotional images. So mostly of their sculpture, ang ilang function gyud sa ilang sculpture is para dito sa kanang mga temples or churches. Kung makaingon, makikita tag mga crucifixes, mo na siya mga mas sign na siya sa churches, altar, frontals. Kung magtanaw mo ng mga ancient na salida, makita niyo ni sila ng mga structures. Then for the architecture. Architecture showed doorways of Romanesque churches. So churches gyapon that often grand sculpted portals or door openings. So connected ang ilang sculpture o ilang architecture. Because sa ilang architecture, ang ilang mostly ginabuhat nila is churches, temple. Then in the churches na ilang gibuhat, ang mga design nilang ginapambutang dito is mga sculpted object. So mo ni siya ang ilang agianan na nagtindog dito na sculpture. So that is kind of function for their architecture. So that is for the Romanesque era. And we have for the Gothic era. So in the Gothic era, paintings were frescoes on the walls sa churches gapon, then elegant style na. So with elegance na daw ang ilahang pagka buhat sa painting. So nganong giingon man din na with elegance na. So siguro na siya more colors na ilang gipangbutang, lively na siya. So yung ana ang ilahang pagka characteristics sa ilang painting. So to their sculptures had a greater freedom of style. So sa Gothic era, naaday freedom of style ang ilahang sculpture. They no longer lay closely against the wall. So kung mag-sculpt daw sila sa kuan Gothic era, kadto na gid daw object na kanang siya nagtindog ng isa. Example na mga monument sa kuan kana sa UP. That is an example na sa mga Gothic era na sculpture. Kanang ana ng mga sculpture. Then dili na daw sila nagadikit sa wall. Because most of the sculpture sa unang panahon, nagagamit sila sa wall na kanang muralag naka-embed siya sa wall. Dili siya dala-dala. But sa Gothic era, kana ng sculpture na pwede nimo isakay. That is example ana is kanang sa ato sa Attorney Orlando, kanang sculpture dira, that is one example of the kanang Gothic characteristics siya. Na freedom na siya, pwede siya madala-dala kahit saan kung inyong dalaon. Pero bugat man siya, so di gid nato madala. So in their architecture, it uses new devices. One device na ilang gamit is pointed arc. So pointed arc. Then second is stone vaulting hold. So this made primary innovations in Gothic engineering. So modo ni ang mga innovations na nahitabo sa Gothic architectures, mga pointed arc. Kung itag pointed arc, example, kung magbuhat kag arc, kanama ng ana, wala siya curve. So mo itag pointed, ang curve na ay point siya sa iyang tunga. So that is pointed arc. Mo na ang ilahang innovation sa ilahang architecture. So those are the what we call the characteristics and functions of different forms of arts in different eras. So we have three forms of arts. We have the painting, sculpture, and the architecture. Don't forget that one, three forms of arts.